Hey, boys and girls, welcome back. Today we are going to talk about lesson 2.8, which is some word problems. So let's take a look. See, can you see that? Okay, we're going to talk some vocabulary first. An equation is a number sentence that, let me just move this down, is a number sentence that uses equal sign to show that two expressions have the same value. Write an equation for 32,947 plus 17,374 and the sum. So the equal sign shows that that would be an equation. So I'm going to write 32,000 rather, 947 plus 17,374. And they want us to do an equation. So we're going to add them up to get our sum, our answer. So we see that it's horizontally. I'm going to write it vertically. 32,947 plus, notice I'm keeping my place values, 17,374. I'm going to add. Always starting in the ones place. 7 plus 4 is 11. Another 7 plus 4 is 11, plus 1 is 12. Regroup. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 3 is 13. Regroup. 7, 8, 9, plus 1, 10. Regroup. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. So our sum is 50,321. So our equation has an equal sign. So it's a number sentence that has your equal sign. And now we'll take a look at a variable. A variable is a symbol or a letter that stands for a number. Identify the variable in this equation. So we have an equation because it has the equal sign. Now, a variable is a symbol or a letter. And if we take a look, our letter here is P. So P is our variable. Okay? Let's take a look at a problem. I'm going to erase this. All right, it says Gary and Liana traveled a total of 72,648 miles last year on business. Gary traveled 43,975 miles. How many miles did Liana travel? So, I'm going to read it again. Okay. Gary and Liana traveled a total of 72,648 miles for business. Gary traveled 43,975 miles. And the question's asking us, how many miles did Liana travel then? So first we want to see what two quantities or numbers are given in the problem, and what do those numbers even mean? So if you take a look, we have these two numbers are given. So 72,648 is the total number of miles, right? Total, and this is our symbol for numbers. It's like an equal sign. That looks like a hashtag. Total is total number of miles. Okay, and then the other number that we have, our other quantity, is 43,975, which stands for how many miles Gary traveled, is Gary's miles traveled. Now, when we are doing problems like this, you can use a bar graph or bar diagram to help us. So let's take a look. I'm going to move this up a bit. And I'm going to delete that. You can pause it if you need to. Okay. So if you look at the bar diagram, okay, it's showing this is a piece and T is a variable, and T is going to be the distance that Liana traveled. Okay, so how are we going to find out how far she traveled? Well, we know that the total, the entire thing, was 72,648 miles. And we know that Gary traveled 43,975 miles. So we can either add 43,975 plus T will get us our total. Let's see. Or we talked about the inverse operation to addition is subtraction. So let's take a look. Is there a way I can move these up? Not sure. I'm going to delete it for now. Okay, so our equation could be, so we're going to write an equation. It could be our total number, which was 72,648, which was the total number of miles traveled, minus how many miles Gary traveled, 43,975, would equal our T, how much Liana traveled. And when we do that, we can do it going up and down. 72,648 minus 43,975. So we'll subtract. 8 minus 5 is 3. 4 minus 7 I can't do, so I'm going to go over to my hundreds place. I'm going to regroup. That 4 becomes a 14. My 6 now becomes a 5. 14 minus 7 is 7. 5 minus 9 I can't do. I have to go over into my thousands place. My 5 now becomes 15, and my 2 becomes a 1. 15 minus 9, or you can add up 9 to add up to get to 15. So 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. We'd get 6. 1 minus 3 I can't do. I'm going to regroup. 7 becomes a 6. And the 1 now becomes 11. 11, 10, 9, 8. 6 minus 4 is 2. So Liana traveled 28,673 miles. Using a bar diagram can help you to visually see it. Have a good night.